It's another beautiful day here in the Shire, where you can feel yourself tensing up over the upcoming Christmas morning chaos. The kids are wild, everyone's hungry, and the only thing standing between you and a full-on family meltdown is preparing breakfast. What if I told you Renee has a delicious family recipe that will get you out of the kitchen and on to opening stockings in under 30 seconds? This time, she's making
Christmas egg thing. I was about 19 in my first tiny apartment when a Norwegian church lady handed me a most delicious but fussy egg dish for Christmas morning. Many children later, I stripped it down so that I could make it quickly on Christmas Eve and bake it straight from the fridge. For almost 40 years, our rhythm has been the same. Stockings, this egg thing, and then the presents. It is tender, puffy, very cheesy, feeds a crowd, reheats well, and today I'm going to show you exactly how to make it. First step, I have no idea how much of everything I put in this, so I've done it by eye for as long as I've made it. So I'm going to start with some homemade bread. It's a little bit dried out. It's been out for a while. So I'm just cutting this into cubes. And I know on another video I expressed to you how much I dislike bread puddings. The big pieces of bread, even saying that makes me feel crazy. I've tried and I'm still trying. For some reason, this one does not bother me in the least. Because it sits overnight, you don't even know the bread is there. It is just amazing. You can take the crust off of your bread if you want to. I found it doesn't make one bit of difference because it sits so long. All right, so I'm going to start with that. And I've got some melted butter here. When I first started making this, I would butter all of the slices of bread, and that was, yeah, no, not happening. So I just pour some melted butter over this, and then I start mixing it around just to make sure that bread, and it helps break that bread up a little bit. Let's see what we've got here so far. I think I need more bread than that. I buttered my pan before I put this in. And I guess what I do is I go about halfway up the sides of the pan with the bread. And I think that's good. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put at least 8 eggs in here by looking at that. And I'll show you exactly what this needs to look like. I've got 8 eggs. We're going to make sure we whisk these up really well. Then we're going to add some milk. And I'm going to do this by eye. I'll show you what it's supposed to look like. I will give you measurements after the video. And that yellow is what you want this to look like. Just make sure everything is mixed together. And you just want to make sure that you're getting all of that egg mixed in there. You don't want, see, there's still some egg whites playing around in there. All right, now we're going to start pouring this over the top of this. See how far we get with this. And then you just want to push this down. Let's see if those are covered. It's sitting on top of that bread right now. Just make sure that all gets mixed in. I think that's good. We'll leave that like that. Okay, so there's that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some salt and pepper onto this. Just a little bit. I don't want to take over that egg flavor. And this is my Finalmill salt and pepper shaker. It's just awesome. It's a great Christmas gift. And then I'm going to take that and I'm just going to push that down in. We're going to take some cheese, and I use all sharp cheddar. You can use whatever cheese you want. The sharp cheddar just gives it this nice, tangy, delicious flavor. I shred my cheese because shredded cheese from the grocery store, it doesn't taste as fresh. I think there's some kind of anti-sticky togetherness thing in whatever that's called in bagged cheese, and there isn't here, and so it just has a completely different feel, so I just don't go with the shredded cheese. Okay, now we're gonna bring this over here and see what we have at this point. You really, like I said, I just like having it heavily cover the top. Put just a little bit more. I don't want to see the liquid with the cheese. Wait, let me show you something. Somebody did recently tell me that if you did it like this, you fill the cheese grater. I keep forgetting to do it because they've done it the other way for so long. But if you do that, you can then pick up your cheese grater and come over here and pull it out like this, which is pretty cool. If I could just remember to do it. That looks perfect. I can't see the liquid. That's my measurement. I do cover this with aluminum foil because it's the only way I don't have a top for this. It's the only way I can get it to stay sealed. You want this completely sealed when you first put this in the oven. But I'm going to use parchment paper on top of this, and I know parchment paper is it's non-stick, but I'm still going to spray it with a little bit of butter spray just to make sure, because it's going to go directly in the oven after this sits for a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right on top, and then I'm going to get some aluminum foil, and then I'm going to cover this on top of that parchment paper, which will help the leaching not occur that aluminum foil is now famous for. I think I cut that too big, but we'll just... Okay, and so what you want to do is just make sure you're sealing that around the edges so that it doesn't drip. And this is one of those recipes that you can add spices if you want to. You can add, cayenne pepper and thyme and anything. And I've glowed this up so many times. I always come back to this very, very, very basic recipe. Every time I tried to glow it up, I had massive complaints from my family, and I think one year I actually even remade it because they were so disgusted with it. They were so disappointed. And so now I just leave this alone. We're going to put this in the refrigerator, and then we'll be back a bit later, and we'll bake this and pretend it's Christmas. Okay.
This is how the mornings say when the rushing starts to climb, and the little ones grow restless in the fragile winter time. Let the quiet fill the kitchen, let the golden edges rise, let the waiting find its comfort in a pen that never lies.
Okay. Thank you. We'll be back. So I took this out of the refrigerator about an hour ago, and I am now going to put this in the oven. You can take it right out of the refrigerator and put it in the oven. It may take a little bit longer to cook. I would recommend having it out on the counter for a little bit just to let it come, get less cold. So we're going to put this in the oven at 325 for somewhere between 50 minutes and an hour.
It's just gone into the oven, and just in time, too, because the kids are crying next to the tree, and somehow the dog now has a bra stuck on his head. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Okay, so it's been about an hour. I'm going to take this out so I can take the wrapping off of it and put it back in. Just thought I'd let you know what it looks like at this point. Okay, so this top is not hot. And ooh, that is looking good. And what we're going to do now is we're going to put it in for another 15 minutes to a half an hour until this gets brown and bubbly on the top. That is looking exactly like it should look. So we're going to put this back in. Ooh. Oh my word, this is why I love this. It is the brown. It's got some of the flavor from the cheese and the butter here. It will seep back in. Oh, this looks gorgeous. This is gorgeous. I can't even, look, it's bouncing. I can pull it, oh, it's really hot. I can pull it away from the edges. We're not gonna cut this right now. We're gonna let it cool down just a bit for about 10 minutes, and then we'll give this a try. I can't wait to eat this. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, so this looks, it's settling down a little bit. It's still really hot, but I can't take the weight anymore, so we're gonna cut out a piece of this. You can spoon this out if you want. You can also just do what I'm doing and oh my goodness. Okay, so this, I just want you to notice the brown on the sides and the brown on the top, and the texture of this is like ooey gooey, yummy, and there is no bread visible. It's just turned itself into this custardy deliciousness. So I'm gonna give this a taste. It's so hot. Maybe I want to taste the edge. This edge looks really good. Oh, it's really hot. Look at all the cheese on that. You've got this cheese, you've got this burned, browned edge, you've got cheese. Oh. I could stand here and eat this whole thing. That is Christmas. That is my kids' childhood. That is so delicious. Oh my word, this is so yummy. And you can size this down if you don't want to have something this large. Probably 8 by 8 would be perfect at half of what's been done here. It's not greasy at all. All of that seeped back down in there and dispersed because we let that rest. And it's worked its way back into all of this. It's moved itself out, and it is so really good. I hope you make this. I really hope you make this. It is so good.
Ready for seconds? Don't put your spoon down yet. Tap this video, and Renee will meet you there.